So, it's been 50 years since legends Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin both passed away 50 years ago, back in 1970. Man, that is a long time. Jeez, oh Pete. Of course, we know these two are part of the 27 Club with Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones. I like how that rhymes. Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones. Jim Morrison of The Doors, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, Amy Winehouse, Robert Johnson, etc. Jimi Hendrix Janis Joplin, they passed away 50 years ago. Jimi Hendrix died on September 18th of 1970 at 27. And then 2 weeks later, just 2 weeks later, ironically, Janis Joplin died on October 4th of that same year, also at 27. That was just ironic how they just died 2 weeks apart from each other. Of course, it's sad that they died, what they were going through with the whole drugs and alcohol and stuff, easing the pain, whatever they were going through. Pretty much anybody in the 27 Club, so. But I'm checking out this article. It's titled Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, Did They or Didn't They? And it was just talking about certain things they had in common during the late 60s, entering the music scene. Did they or did they not perform together? And like I said, here's some pictures of them together in person, which is dope. So that's cool seeing Jimmy and Janis in person. Apparently the article says that they were described as friends, so seems like they were friends. Okay, that's cool, that's dope. And then it mentions about if they possibly had sex together, because I guess like they saw them as like secret lovers or some crap, I don't know. Mentioned saying, oh, after all, Janis was a hippie and she liked to have sex. Yeah, Janis did like to have sex. I mean, she even wanted to get some from Jim Morrison when they first met. And then everything was fine until Jim Morrison went too far with his drinking and he just started being mean to her. And that's when Janis went from turned on to being turned off from Jim. And yeah, they both are part of the 27 Club and they both died at the same age, 2 weeks apart from each other in the same year. Oh, and it also says they both dropped out of high school to pursue their music career. And, you know, they're both part of the 60s music and hippie scene, obviously. Their music to this day still lives on, and they cannot be forgotten, along with the rest of the people of the 27 Club. Last year, it was 50 years since Brian Jones passed away. This year is what, 51 years? And then next year, it'll be 50 years since Jim Morrison passed away. And then next year, it's also going to be 10 years since Amy Winehouse passed away. I can't believe it's almost 10 years since Amy passed away. Like, that's ridiculous. And then some people say that the people in the 27 Club, they say that they look older. Like, they didn't look like they were in their 20s. Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, they didn't look like they were in their 20s. They looked much older. Like, they looked like they was in their 40s. Brian Jones didn't look like he was in his 20s. He looked like to me at least, like in his 30s. But that's what happens when you do a lot of drugs and alcohol. It gets to the point that as you get older, you look older than what your actual age is. But the rest of the guys, like Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy, they look like they was in their 20s. Jim Morrison didn't look older. Kurt didn't look older. Amy looked like she was in her 20s, which they were, when they were around. Amy didn't look older, but some people think Amy looked older, like she was in her 40s or something. She didn't look older to me. Rest in peace, Jimmy and Janis.